typical girls nowadays that like killing documentaries out of nowhere. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Like everybody's mother who just watches like all the whatever you call it, the little murder dramas all the time.
What are you preparing for? What are you gonna do?
All right, let's see what Nagato Komodo has to say.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
No.
Yeah, that's how they made it round.
It was a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how
My thing is, how did they do that?
Wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
Remember the baton lighting kind of goes up and down. Yeah, that's what they did to lower Ibuki's body.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper, and because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
Mikon looks worried.
Well, to be fair, she always looks like that.
Yeah, but she's extra worried. Like, ah!
But going to the
she's fine now.
hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Oh my god.
Kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
That's his moss.
Yeah.
I was like moss balls. I was like, wait, he said moth.
I don't eat moss balls.
She says moss.
Okay, that's weird.
I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's both
Potato, potato.
because of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated the two victims of that movie, I should be able to explain that now.
Because they like movies.
To mix up the killing order? Yeah.
I see! The reason the killer
Enlighten
imitated
us.
two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
Yeah, we were crying, man. I was so crying. I was crying. I'm a baby wavy.
Gundam's a little insane. Let's just let him be Gundam.
Yeah, with this little ice cream swirl.
His little fucking Jimmy Neutron hair.
I'm not even crying.
She sounds so serious.
You tell him.
You sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
Gundam.
Calm down, buddy.
Gundam just
too much caffeine this morning?
He's like, yes, I had too much soda.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Bigger jerk? Impossible!
I'm the ultimate jerk!
I want to be the bigger jerk.
Right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
What?
Right. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather.
That makes no sense to me.
Your opponent is out of your league.
What are you talking about?
You're trying to perplex me so inadequately.
Are we gonna be sword fighting him?
Maybe?
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature
Oh, no, I
with
get
no
it.
psychic abilities like you
I got
no
so confused with the wording.
Nah,
I thought he was trying to say Hiyoko's feet was touching the ground, so that's why Ibuki wasn't hanging. I was like, what is that? What?
Oh,
What
yeah,
does that mean?
I get it.
It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you
Her
suffer
pouty
from a
face.
pathetic delusion.
It just pulls out the hamsters.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed.
I want to sword fight him.
Now we got bullets. Are we sword fighting with bullets?
I probably bullet on the souls, I would think. Or maybe
Yeah.
stepladder.
I think it's the
Step
Ladder, what are you
souls.
doing?
Ibuki's
Oh, find
feet
out.
were on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm telling you to present your evidence.
All right.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Yeah, that's pretty what we have to shoot.
Yeah.
Prints at the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor. But she was like sitting or something.
What?
Okay.
So instead, there'd be a mark on her ass.
Oh.
Weak, I say! It doesn't even pierce my heart.
Oh, okay, Gundam.
See, he's getting too defensive. Like, he has me questioning a little bit. Well, that's just how people are.
Hiyoko died. Ibuki's
There's like to fight for no reason.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet was there any sign she stepped on?
I consent.
I got so confused and thought you were wrong because it didn't break. So I was like, wait.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint bloodstains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injury. Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki's
I was there. I know.
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power.
Yeah.
Oh, here goes the sword fight.
Don't make me sword fight you, Gundam. I don't have enough swords.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb.
You know,
Wait,
he says all the shit that I don't even know what he's saying, and I don't even know how to argue against it.
That's his superpower.
It's like, Gundam, I don't know what you're saying to argue with you.
Use English, buddy.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? Good line.
Write that one down real quick.
Did he just mimic my accent?
But I'm so glad that I'm so glad Gundam's having more speaking lines because he wasn't really talking much in those other trials.
Yeah, Gundam doesn't start talking much until right around now.
But are you
Because there's not enough characters.
Yeah, pretty much.
how serious I am? This world might be destroyed, you know.
It's kind of like a Hero from the first game, where at the beginning it's like you didn't see him much, and then all of a sudden at the end it's like, this is all Hero all the time.
Yeah. I guess it seemed like he talked more because we did have like a little time with him. We spent free time with him, so it seemed like he talked more then.
I get you.
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
We just don't know what you're saying.
However,
Buddy, I need a dictionary.
it starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Don't roast my hamster boy too much. He's innocent. He's an innocent boy, and I love him.
I love him, but I'm so confused.
Oh god, this is too many swords.
Yeah, I like to imagine his parents are just both like super fucking normal, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Where did you learn to speak like this?"
The internet's mom.
There was no blood on. You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about 1 minute. Did you see a nice nightmare?
It might be stepladder. There's blood on the step ladder?
Despite his exaggerated protests, I feel like I've already seen an opening to counter. Is this a trap?
Seeing the blood on Ibuki's feet. Ha! Impossible!
Oh, smudge on the floor. That
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
There's no blood on the floor.
Smash!
Allow me to cut through those words.
I kind of do like that line.
That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Yeah.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
There's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right. I didn't know the time of death because of the heater.
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Alright.
Then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Oh god, here we go.
Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what do we...
Nope rope. Nope rope.
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide
Nope rope.
killed the most important existence of all, yourself.
I don't agree with it.
Fortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
No, I don't like that.
What do you mean?
It better not be suicide.
Actually committed suicide.
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really
Mikey, the
murdered.
correct term is rage quitting.
For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
Well, since I suggested that, that's not right.
Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. She waited until Hajime left. That's when she could have made her move.
I mean, listen, I'm all for having clean glasses, but she was hung up.
Yeah.
She was like up there.
Yeah, like she was up there, and her glasses, they were smudged. She was not singing.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two.
What the heck?
Sorry. Poked. Now I'm free to search for the killer. Okay.
Huh.
Like you weren't before?
Still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
See, people think he's crazy, but he brings up points.
Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
No, she was gullible.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
I don't think he said it proud.
Aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something.
Yeah, slit someone's throat.
We should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi.
Alright, don't say so menacingly.
Weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
At approximately 6:33.
Announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Okay.
Anything you want, my liege. Mikon's account. So we need someone's account, I guess.
We can exclude.
But I can't remember everyone's account.
Kane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Didn't Mikon have an alibi for nobody? Yeah. Okay.
Wasn't she with him?
Yeah, because she was shoving her boobies in my face.
Yeah. He's gonna be so shy saying it. She was booby.
And what about
Dude, I was tits deep.
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping.
I think everyone.
So everyone who's... What about you guys? I was where I was supposed...
That's not.
Aside from those afflicted by the... If nobody has an alibi, then...
No, that's wrong! Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikon and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikon and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
No mind.
You could have not said that.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I'm so mad about it.
But he sounds like...
But he's like,
Nice, Hajime.
Dude, Hajime, high five.
He's like,
I like Sora because he's just such a bro to us. He's just sitting there like, hey.
Soda is ultimate bro.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
She sounds so proud of herself.
Yeah, why would this is weird because if the disease thing's not happening anymore, she just doesn't sound that embarrassed about those things anymore.
She was happy to do it, I guess.
Man, she doesn't have little shit around to be like, oh, you pig-faced whore.
I guess, but I don't know.
Let her blossom.
Is she jealous?
Maybe.
Oh, pouty face.
She looks kind of jelly.
Too much info.
Aw.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And shoved her boobs in my face.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have...
Cat. The fuck?
What was the... Are you fine?
Yeah, he just knocked over a bunch of shit.
But It's just I get it. Like, okay, they have alibis, but it's like, why point that out? Because there's still like 6 other people that don't.
I know.
It's like, cool. You guys have alibis. What about the 6 others out around the room?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they were near each other during that time, so that theoretically should clear both of them.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
I just feel like this didn't help much.
Like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was? Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
I touched the button on the back of my controller, which does the same thing as the A button. But, you're saying there was another reason?
I feel like for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
The killer had a different reason? That's weird.
Okay.
They basically said the same thing.
Yeah, they just said the same thing they said the last 5 paragraphs.
Yeah, like, okay, whatever. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap, inside a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose and what kind of trap is it?
Mine.
Oh yeah, we have intermissions.
Yeah, we do. Mikey, intermission song.
So I'm just dancing. I'm just dancing in my chair while that's happening. Why, hello there, mon ami. The moss ball sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives off of moss balls.
And here's some chance time. Oh god.
What's that?
Well then, mon ami, appeal time starts now.
Appeal time.
Yeah, peel your banana. You're kind of had a big brother who's going to give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a redheaded stepchild who's boss.
That's 99% your fault.
Why then? Your time's already running out. So please make your appeal simple. I got 30,000 words or so.
That's too long. It'll be a boring appeal.
Come on, if you're having a success, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way.
Then I'm Usami, magical miracle girl Usami. I'm an itty bitty girl who is sweet like milk.
Haha. Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
What are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever.
Man, are we like already almost done with this trial? This trial seems shorter. Usually the suspension's like right near the climax.
Well, there's like
unreasonable.
The second chapter's longer, I'm pretty sure, for it.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because they basically like, oh, we discovered this part of the trial, now we're gonna move on to the next kind of segment, and then they do the comic book.
Oh yeah, true.
He's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead.
Why do you sound like you're in a tin can?
No, this definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to say it frequently.
No. Thank you. The reason the killer did an imitation murder, a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence, does something like that even exist?
It suddenly got quiet in here.
Yeah, we were listening to the intermission.
Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Oh god, Nagito.
And this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
So disappointed.
Shut up forever!
Shut up forever! He just stays quiet.
But I'm
He's pulling a fucking Toko.
He's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's...
It's not just that. Come on. Try to remember the content of the movie.
You going to bed? Okay.
About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling
Good
it
night.
an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by
I love you.
arrows, right?
Pinned by arrows? No.
But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Well, the killer couldn't find arrows at the time.
Substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows. Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete.
That attitude.
The murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning. They should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying, Hyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
Yoko's murder wasn't planned.
I understand
Oh, so I was kind of right about that. I was like, what if she just kind of walked in at the wrong time?
bunch of assumptions. It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
You're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
I'm pretty sure the one's sleeping on you. Why Hyoko went to the music venue if that's the key to all this. I need to find out no matter the cost.
Well, it was Sonia that said about her kimono.
Okay, pray the room key.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
We get to the other side!
The killer summoned her.
Yep.
If that's not it,
Dude, like a summoning
maybe
jutsu?
she got abducted by the killer.
Nope.
No.
No.
You should know.
Own free will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
She would know.
What do you have to say,
she
Gundam?
was guided by the will of causality.
Yes, that was totally a Gundam.
That one.
Okay.
Why did he go to the music venue?
Maybe the killer...
If that's
Maybe she got a... No, she went to her own...
Oh, shit.
She was guided by the
Well,
will
here we
of
go again.
causality.
We had to hear Gundam again.
Why did he go to the music venue?
Maybe the killer...
if that's not, maybe she got a
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Consent.
I agree with that.
I give you my consent, Sonia.
It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't lose!
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
I don't want to sword battle you, Akane. We don't have swords.
Saying my gut was wrong.
Yeah.
My first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
Why'd you say that?
I don't know.
Mikey, she's smooth brain.
That's not the issue.